Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cooking with Dan Lizzie. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff. I'll be your host this evening in Dan's kitchen, where we can find some culinary exciting things to do this evening.
I don't know how.
Maybe?
I don't know how exciting this is going to be, but we'll give it a shot, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we were going to do a couple of. We're going to do an hors d'oeuvre with some calamari, some tubes.
Calamari.
Yeah, we're going to grill it. We have a little grill pan on there ready to go.
I noticed that.
I was going to do some salmon, and if we had some time, I was going to get to a veal dish.
Great.
Both of these were going to be it's getting a little chilly out there, so we'll do a couple cream sauces here. Not too heavy. They aren't like these Alfredo sorts of dishes, but they are creamy and got all the stick to your ribs cholesterol and all of that sort of thing. But I had a little olive oil and salt and pepper. That's all. I was going to marinate the squid for a second or two just to give it a little jump. Whether you were taking bets on how high the flame is going to go on.
You know what? We were taking bets on how happy you were going to be today, because it's really cold outside, and golfing is like
no golfing today.
No golfing.
I tell you, you got to start winterizing. You got to start winterizing your golf wardrobe, and you got to start winterizing your handicap. We have a few people that have been doing that. Yeah, everybody's being real bad now. Somehow or other, the scores that are going into the computer are a little higher than they were in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to come out next spring having a handicap that's too low that they have to play for. You know, it's not fun. All right, we're gonna, these are pretty decent size. I mean, they're not colossal, but I mean, some of the stuff that you get in these, the squid are just really, I mean, it's like Cheerios.
Size. Yeah.
It's like the clams, I want them that big, you know. Okay, why bother, all right? All right, we'll give this a whirl. Yeah, we were gonna grill the squid. It shouldn't take too long at all. And we were going to toss it in a salad, a little arugula salad.
Great.
I like to serve this as a little starter course.
I love that sizzle.
Yeah, this is basically cooked. It cooks very quickly, and I'm just going to add this lid here just to maybe pressure it up a little bit there. We'll get it down on the board here and slice it up, make a little salad with it. Have one of these little jobbers here.
I was looking at this. Now, can I...
Yeah, give that a whirl. There, you can have these like with coffee. They're our little croutons we make with French bread. Probably the only nitwits making homemade croutons, but I feel like they taste great.
You know what?
Butter in them.
These are really nice.
Yeah.
Now, what are the seasonings in this?
We have just some salt, pepper, and garlic with some clarified butter. All right, we got them on the board here. I'll slice the squid first.
Okay.
Little circlets. This stuff cooks very rapidly.
I was going to say, that was really pretty quick.
Right. Get our little grill flavors on there. This is something you can do at home too, but sometimes it's tough just to go to the market and get the larger squid. Of course, you can have the smaller squid too.
Of course, the best is really fresh.
Yeah.
I know you see these things in packages in the freezer section, and I don't know, those never turned out to taste all that well.
All right, I'll get a little salad to toss it in. I guess I can use this bowl right here. I had some arugula. I love my little plastic containers. I don't know what I'd do without them, I'm telling you. I think it's terrific. Got some arugula here, and I've got a little Bermuda onion. Toss in.
Love that onion.
Yeah, it's nice stuff.
Yep.
We'll add a little of our, I have a little balsamic vinaigrette we've emulsified, got it nice and creamy. We'll add a little of that in there. We can always add a little bit more in. I'll give a little salt and pepper to that also. I can see we'll need a little smidge more. Move this around a little. The arugula tends to wilt very, very quickly. You have to be very careful. It's a tough one. I love the arugula so much, but it's tough to serve with. I'm not that big usually on hot items getting served with arugula. Some of these romaine, these types of things can stand up to it. We'll just toss our squid in like that. Some of it in, and then some of it we'll put on top.
Great.
It's a nice little combination.
Sure.
Little peppermill on here. So I've got some of it on the interior of the salad. Come on, arugula, help me. Help me out here. Work that there. Some of that will garnish on the...
Oh, this aroma is just enticing.
It's great. And just toss it all around there. But it's a good combination. It's a nice little salad, you know. I've got some Parmesan cheese,
Oh,
both grated and some stuff we can shave. Let's try a little bit on there. See what kind of... I could go with the little... Now we'll go with the bigger ones.
Yeah,
with the
we
bigger
wanna
shave. Just
see
your basic
those
home
all.
type of
Yep.
shaver we have here. Put a little Parmesan in there. You can add a peppermill to it, which give it a real nice touch. Got a little paprika. We'll get a third color in there around the border.
Very nice.
Yeah, there you have a little nice little starter course of some grilled squid, arugula, Bermuda onion, and a nice little balsamic vinaigrette.
Okay, so we're gonna do something with this salad.
I don't know. We're going to figure it out in a minute. Yeah, we got a nice little salmon fillet there, right? We got the skin off it and all that. It's not a steak,
Okay.
it's a fillet.
Right.
And we're going to saute it in some brown butter and get a nice little cream sauce on it. Try this sauce. It takes us, it's got a fish base to it. Take a little
Gosh,
taste.
can I dip in here?
Oh, you can use your... But it really goes well with all our seafood dishes. It has a nice little accent to it.
Oh, I love that.
Right. That sauce is often imitated, never duplicated. Hear that, Nino? But we're going to wheel this with a little...
I guess we won't be getting that recipe, huh, Dan?
No. I'm going to put a little oil in here.
If you hear me crunching,
Yeah, what's going on?
You know
I
what
got
I'm
no
doing.
croutons left for the evening, right?
I was just going to tell you that. These are fabulous.
Yeah, they're good. Did you check these tomatoes out? We're a couple days with those. We'll take these off from the perimeter, but we're going to take the skin off, and we're just drying them in the oven, you know? Some of our dishes, I don't like to put whole tomatoes on. They're crunchy. I like, you know, with the pasta dishes, it's good.
Oh, yeah, these are nice with pasta dishes.
And you know, sometimes those sun-dried tomatoes are,
Little juicy.
you know how I feel about that, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the old sun-dried thing. But these are great. They're kind of
This
a
is
tweener. We dry them in the oven.
The great alternative.
All right, I'm going to put a little butter in the pan here. And we're going to burn the butter, brown the butter. Get it nice and dark. I got a hair more oil in there than I should have, probably. We're going to add make a little cognac cream sauce with that.
Ooh.
Well, I noticed
Wow.
as the temperature's been cooling off a little bit, this usually would be, you know, take us 2 days to get it done in the oven.
Oh,
But now it's the chill is in the air. I guess the oven temperature, you know, things change over the seasons, you know. It's nice that the kitchen's a little cooler, though.
So you have to kind of, yeah, but once you get cooking, the kitchen is not going to be cool for too long.
No, but it's much better than the middle of July.
That's for sure.
And the humidity. Humidity is the main thing. Forget about it. It just gets too warm in here, but it's not too much we can do about it. You can't bring cold air in. You know, the trick is just trying to get the hot air out. And I've got a lot of hot air in here. You can see where this is turning color right now.
Turn.
Right. I'm going to season our fillet with a little salt and pepper. And again, I recommend putting it skin side down.
Okay.
I mean, skin side up rather. Put it rib side down. So this is the prettier part piece that'll show up when you're putting it on the plate.
Now, is the downside a little tougher than or is it the same?
It's the same. The main thing is we took the skin off.
Right.
If we left the skin on there, you'd need a chainsaw to get through it. I just don't see the old skin thing. on a lot of these dishes. I don't understand that so much. I've got a little flour here. I'll dredge this in the flour. But I like to, you know, when you get these thicker fillets like that, I like to add a little salt and pepper to them before. Okay. Many chefs season the flour. But you see how that's burning in there like that?
Yep.
And this flour is going to cause a nice little coating on the outside. Not a thick coating, but just a little crisp bit. Is what I like to call it.
And I noticed, as you've always told us, away from you whenever you're placing anything into a fry pan.
Really, you'll be in the burn unit before you blink your eyes. It's moving along pretty rapidly here. I might want to turn this down a hair. When I turn it over, I could also use this lid to work with it to make the heat penetrate, okay? If it was a much thinner, like yellowtail, sole type of fillet, we wouldn't have to worry about that. I've got a little cognac right here. A little brandy we're going to add to the pan. Keep it away from the flame if you can. Can't wait to see this go up. Here we go. Not too bad, right?
Nice.
Yeah, when the alcohol burns off, so will the flame. Yeah, you want to watch keeping that brandy bottle or these wines too close to the flame. You got to really watch that, folks.
And no nipping.
No nipping, right?
Not allowed.
You can see that's cleared off there. Oops, no, it's not. It's messing around with me. I'll bring the sauce to it. So we've got that cognac in here. We've got our little cream sauce working. That's probably enough. I'll add a little more. We don't want to fall short on the old TV show here now, do we? And I've got these green peppercorns. Let's see how we're doing here. See that nice color it's gotten?
Fabulous.
Isn't that tremendous?
Yeah.
Got a few of these green peppercorns. They're a lot softer than the pink and the black peppercorns, and they just really work well with a dish like this. The salmon and the seems to be able to stand up to the brandy. No, it was a lighter fish fillet. I wouldn't have such a robust sauce, but some of these thicker, meatier types, I think it works pretty well.
Now, did you marinate these peppercorns? Did you do anything special to them?
No, they just came in in water. They're packed in water.
Okay.
You can see that sauce is, you know, it's got some consistency to it, but it isn't that, you know, crazy thick, you know, I call them Alfredo types, you know, where it's just some thick, gloppy cream. You have to be very careful with that. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit and let that heat really penetrate with the lid. Sometimes when we're really moving and grooving back here, we would take the fillet like that or a thick steak and put it on a little metal pan and put it in the oven. I love the way an oven finishes things like that, a thick steak, a roast. There's nothing like roasting, I think. I love all types of cooking, boy. Give me a really good roast. I think it's terrific. I had a really good roast last night.
Really?
My wife prepared, yeah. It was a pork roast. I told them, don't trim it, leave all the fat on it. And I said, don't take it off the bone. It was on the bone. And the butcher merely turned the loin around, and he cut the bones for us on the saw, but left the meat whole. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, and it took 9 hours to do, of course. And we did. I looked at the cookbook and whatnot, and I divided by 2 with the cooking time. It's incredible. These people with some of these, I guess they don't want to get sued or something like that, but they cook this salmon fillet for 4.5 days to make sure everything is dead. It's unbelievable how long they tell you to cook, like turkeys and stuff like that, right? Don't you think they overdo that a little bit?
Yeah, I think you're right. But then how do you gauge it? I mean,
just take a wild guess, underdo it. If it's too underdone, break out another couple bottles of wine and wait till it's finished. All right, gonna set this right down here for a second or two. Get rid of our pan. All right, we got a little fish fillet. Like you can almost feel there's a little crunch to the thing here. You can almost
I could hear that.
You can hear it, right? It's nice. It's not too crisp, but it's a nice thing. It's a good thing. Here's our little vin blanc with the peppercorns and brandy. We'll put a little bit on the plate like that.
Oh, you can just get that essence of the brandy.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that is really.
And this sauce takes us a couple of days to do. Okay, now you have to be careful now with this. You don't want to overdo it. I'm going to put a little smoochie on the top there, but I don't want to ruin what we just made, you know. I should have saved a peppercorn or 2. I could garnish it with a couple of peppercorns if I want, I guess. And how are we going to garnish this? What do you think? A little red and a little green would work nicely, right? But we don't want to overdo it. Why don't we,
I would say put just a touch of, like a sprig of parsley and then maybe
I'll
just
keep this one to the interior, right? Like
around
that.
the edges.
Rather than messing around with the edge of the plate, we'll do something like that, right? And try to keep this on the simple side. Like you said, put just a sprig with it rather than parsley and across the whole top.
And just clean and classic.
Yeah, baby. That's
Clean and
Yeah, we'll have
classic.
to
Do you like
remember
that?
that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, and actually, I'm looking at, we've got a couple of veal cutlets. And what is, these are
Eggplant.
these are already breaded.
Right. We've already cooked it off.
Slightly sauteed.
Right.
Okay.
We just got it in position. We were going to layer the eggplant onto the veal.
You know, they were so thin. How did you get that eggplant sliced so thinly? That's great.
Actually, it was thick, and once we cooked it down a little bit, it just, I guess the moisture just comes out of it and stuff, you know. It just, any of these, like the mushrooms and stuff, anything that has water, it's just incredible how it,
shrinkage.
The shrinkage and the, you see the hammer marks in this, the veal. We have the prosciutto. We took the, the end of the veal hammer that's got a little, that's spiked, you know, the one they use in the Gladiator movies. And the, right. We just tap the prosciutto into the veal so you cook it all at the same time. It sears that prosciutto a little bit and really imparts a nice flavor. So we did that, and we're just going to set the veal in the pan, garnish it with some eggplant, and see what we come up with.
Great.
It's a really nice dish. Anytime it seems like you're seeing eggplant with these dishes, it's...
Well, you know, I was going to tell you, because usually when I see it, it's so thick, and that gets to the point where it's kind of unmanageable, especially if the skin is still left on.
Oh, I know, right. It can go from really neat to glommy in about 3 seconds.
We don't like glommy here in Dan's Kitchen.
Right. We want to be sweet and petite. But I'm trying to put very little oil in the pan here, if you notice. Just very little, enough to get the job done. I can always add a little bit more in. Again, with the veal, my recommendation, don't do this at home. The chicken, all right, you know, but forget it. The veal, the price you're going to pay. And if you don't pay enough for the veal, that means you probably don't have the right veal. It's just very, very pricey, very finicky. You know, I don't recommend it unless you're a person
Finicky is a good word.
Yeah, it really is tough stuff.
You know, what you're looking for and what you're doing.
Exactly. You got to really mess around with it. The chicken, you know, it's just thick enough and everything else to, if you make a boo-boo, it's no big deal. But, you know, you make a boo-boo with the chicken dish, it only costs you X amount of dollars.
You have to eat a lot of mistakes.
Right. You're going to really feel the dollars flying out the window if you mess with the, if you lose the veal. I'm going to dredge these in flour also. I'm going to shake the flour off a little bit. Let the dredging commence. And we're going to put it prosciutto side down in the pan. All these little steps are very important. We'll shake them off.
Just shake it out.
We just shake it off a little bit. Pat them off. Give them a little whack on the hiney. Yeah, be gentle. Yeah. Golf season, entering the fall tour.
Yeah, it's over, Dan.
It's not over. It's never over.
We'll be in December, and if we have like a good day, 65, 70 degree weather, he'll be out there, believe me.
You can take that to the bank. Yeah, that's for sure. Boy, it's taking a while for the oil to get hot here. What's going on?
I'm munching on another one of your croutons.
I know, right? I'm going to be making another batch in a few minutes. But you can see the smoke coming off of this pan. And again, this is what you have to do at home. You have to get the temperatures like this. You don't want to do it. Eat veal at the restaurants. We want this to happen quick. Try to challenge myself to bring this stuff out underdone. It never happens.
And you can see the edges turning already.
Right.
Doesn't take that long.
Oh, this will happen fast, for sure. And we cook it mostly on the one side, just a little sear job on the other. We're looking to sear the prosciutto. Remember, that's on the other side, and we're going to Yo! Got the nice color there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and here we go. We're going to take that little remainder of oil and toss that out. I've got a little veal stock in marsala. It's a marsala sauce. It's light and brothy. Going to add that to the pan. Okay. The veal didn't brown well enough to my liking to the bottom of the pan. It depends on the cuts that you get. Sometimes it happens well and sometimes it doesn't. But when it doesn't, I have to have my secret sauce over here. This brown little demi-glaze I have that we keep nice and handy. It's a veal bone derivative, but you see how it's darkening that sauce? This is my little cheater's way of getting my colors and using natural ingredients in there. I'm going to add a little touch of cream to this dish, kind of create a tan sort of sauce. All right. Whoops, almost forgot the eggplant. Spinning around like a top here. All right, we need 3 slices. We don't want to dominate it. We'll try that. See how these slices are here. There, it looks pretty good.
So they go directly on top of the veal.
Right, directly on top.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to try to just wet the top of this a little bit because I like to, you know, I could put mozzarella, I could put nothing, you know, but I like this Parmesan cheese, real grated Parmesan. I think it's terrific.
And that gives you really a nice, kind of a nice sort of flavor to it. It's a little zippy.
All right, we're not going to put a ton. It's spicy. Watch how it melts. It melts real nicely on there. Now we want to get this veal out. As soon as that melts, I want to get this veal out of the pan. It should melt very rapidly, but you don't want to be boiling this veal down. See, it's melted already? 2 seconds. So let's get the veal the heck out of here. The eggplant, I think, you know, if the eggplant is at room temperature, you know, you don't have to have everything exactly piping hot. The sauce is hot, the veal is hot. I think sometimes folks get a little too carried away with everything, you know. So let's see what we can do to help this sauce out to finish it. I'm going to add a little cream, a little more of my demi-glace. I'm going to put a little salt and some white pepper just to accent it.
That's great to have, but I've seen what you have to go through.
A little piece of sweet butter in there to try to bring this sauce together. See how that's happening?
Beautiful color.
Right. I love that color. Wasn't a ton of cream, but just enough. This is a little more stick to your innards. Let's see if I can't just splash it around so I can put it in and out the veal cutlets without, you know, being directly on top. So I want to keep the look of that Parmesan melted on the top. Let's see, we'll wipe the sides and bring that over here. You can still see that melted Parmesan on there. It really kicks the dish a little bit.
And now you were saying, Dan, if you didn't put Parmesan on there, what are the other alternatives, or what could you
Nothing. You could
do?
put nothing on top. You could put some mozzarella on top.
Oh,
I've seen this dish, they call it a Sorrento, I believe. A lot of times you'll see maybe an eggplant matches up to dishes. You see the word Sorrento, rather. You see eggplant matching up a little bit.
Oh, I see.
See something alla romana. A lot of times you'll see anchovies showing up a little bit there. What else? Genovese. You'll see basil happening a little bit. You know, that kind of stuff. So you'll...
How about like a tomato or anything? Or would that overwhelm it?
I think this dish, this style it would, but you know, you've seen places come out with a dish that's got a tomato base to it, whether it's thicker or more brothy, and you know, there's a million and one ways of doing it. I just think this is real neat. But I'm just going to garnish this with a little parsley. Where'd you go, parsley? I think this will be enough. We're just going to go with a little greenery on there, a few shrubs, and that's it. Little veal donici.
Thanks for joining me in the dining room where Dan and I are going to go, well, Dan and I, Dan is going to go over what he cooked.
Well, I think you're going to say Dan and I are going to have something to eat. I was going to say, no, you'll be having something to eat.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, what do we have? We had our salmon, our sautéed salmon with the velvety vin blanc sauce with the cognac and green peppercorn
Very velvety.
garnish.
Clean and classic. Yeah.
And we had our grilled calamari. We tossed with the Bermuda onion, the arugula, and tossed the balsamic vinaigrette in it. We added the little Parmesan garnish. I think it works. It works.
I think it works.
Yeah,
It's
it
very
goes
pretty.
together. And we had our veal donici with the eggplant and the marsala accent. We had the prosciutto on the veal, the eggplant, the Parmesan garnish, and the light marsala cream sauce on the top of it.
Wonderful. That's good. Well, I think Dan's ready to leave. I'm ready to eat. So I guess that means we're at the end of the show. Folks, thanks for joining us this evening on Cooking with Dan Lezzi. My name is Janet Rapisardi-Hoff. We'll see you next week.